I am just beat. I can't believe that it took me until this early in the morning to finally finish with my day at work. Anyways, once I wrap up with everything here, I am finally going to be going home to you.
Oh, hey, Julia. I think this is probably the latest I've ever seen you get off work. In fact, I feel like lately, all you've been working is the graveyard shift these days, right? Or rather, maybe I should just come out and say what I really mean. I know that you're having an affair with me. You're cheating on me, Julia.
Ryan, I couldn't even cheat on you if I wanted to. I just don't have the time with how busy work is always keeping me. But, I do really wish that I could count on you for just a little bit of help now and then, to be honest.
What are you talking about? You really think that I would ever want to give help to the person I know is cheating on me? Why would you even bother asking that?
For the last time, I am not cheating on you, Ryan. Honestly, you're being ridiculous. Do you know that? But I would like some help because I'm wondering if you have any idea the state of our business? Because I feel like if you had any idea at all about how things really were, you would understand how impossible it is for me to cheat on you. I'm just too busy. I literally only go to and from the house and office. That's why I would like just a little more help from you, Ryan. Please, I know for a fact that I'm really not asking for much, but you need to be doing at least the bare minimum around here.
No, I'm not gonna do anything. I refuse to help a no-good cheater like you.
Ryan, do you really not care at all what happens to our business? I mean, don't you care about the future of all this hard work that we've put in? Doesn't it worry you when I say that our business could seriously be in trouble?
Oh, please. You don't know what you're talking about at all. I know for a fact that our business is doing just fine. You're going to have to think of a better excuse to try and convince me that you're not cheating. But anyways, since we're already on the topic of the business and money and all of that, I want you to give me a bit more money to spend this month.
Wait, what? Are you serious, Ryan? Do you really need more money? I feel like I just handed you your monthly allowance. Are you telling me that you really spent all of the money that I gave you that was meant to last you the entire month?
I didn't ask for your input on how I get to spend my money. Thank you very much. So why don't you just shut up and give me more when I say I need it? Honestly, just who do you think you even are talking to your husband this way? Don't you know a woman's place in the house is just to do whatever her husband says to her? If you dare try and backtalk me like that ever again, I could tell you that there will be consequences. I already know that you're cheating on me, so don't think that I'm afraid to divorce you.
Are you kidding me? Did you seriously just threaten to divorce me if I don't pay you more money every month? Just who do you think you are?
You can complain about it all you want, but nothing is going to make me budge on this. You should know that I've been waiting for this for a long time. I've kept signed divorce papers in my desk for the day that I finally caught you cheating on me. And now, I finally get to hold them over you.
Ryan, have you ever been reading a single word that I've been sending you? I am telling you that I am not cheating on you, okay? Now can you please stop all of this nonsense?
Oh, please. You really think that I'm going to believe that when you've been working through the night for weeks now? You can't really think that I'd ever believe a single word that you have to tell me, right?
You know, that really is rich coming from you, Ryan. You're the one that's always leaving me all alone at the house on weekends. You're hardly ever here when I'm around.
Well, it's not my fault that you're bad at matching up your life rhythm with mine, but I'm not going to adjust my schedule to match some cheating hussies.
You are just terrible. Do you know that? I mean, I am trying to explain to you that I am working hard to make sure that we don't go under, but you refuse to listen and just keep accusing me of cheating on you. But you know what? Fine. If this is the way that you really want to end things between us, then so be it. Why don't you take out those divorce papers and leave them on the table for when I get home?
You mean you're really finally going to divorce me? Oh wow, this is so great. Thank you so much. Hey there, Julia. It's been a while since we last spoke, hasn't it? How have you been? How are things with you?
Wait a second. Is this Ryan? Are you seriously texting me out of the blue like this?
Oh, come on. I know that I left you 3 years ago, but I really hope that you're not still all pissy about it. I would have thought that you'd have done a little bit more thinking about what you did wrong. But I want you to know that I'm finally ready to forgive you for all that you've done, and I'm ready to get back together with you. So why don't you bring me those divorce papers of yours?
I seriously have no idea what you're talking about at all. How can you take me back when we're already divorced? What are you even saying?
I'm telling you that I'm going to kick you to the curb and leave you all over again. So how about you just be a good woman and say the only thing you should be saying to men? Yes.
Right. Well, I'm not really sure what this is all about, but if you want to get back together with me, I guess I'll have to check and see if it's okay with my husband.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean that you'll have to check if you can get back together with me with your husband?
Well, after you and I got divorced 3 years ago, I met someone and married him, so I have a husband now.
Yeah, right. You really think I'm going to fall for that one? There isn't a man alive who would want to ever marry someone like you. Unless, I think I see what's happened here. You were in so much shock that I left you, that you made up someone in your head that you now believe that you're married to. Wow. Well, that really is just sad. Did you know that?
Ryan, you seriously don't even know what you're talking about. In fact, you never know what you're talking about at all. But if you really want to know, the man that I remarried was on our company's management team.
Wait a second. Was he that guy that we went to go check out that hotel with that one time? I think I remember him. His name was Max, wasn't it? I even remember him giving me his business card when we first all met those years ago.
Well, then I guess that means you know he's a real person and you can quit calling me a liar then.
But I remember that after that, we put all our eggs into the hotel basket, right? So does that mean that you two are still running that place? Because I've driven by it a few times, and it seriously looks like a rundown piece of crap. I bet that your husband Max probably has to work as a bellboy, because your whole hotel is about to fall into bankruptcy any day now.
I would appreciate it if you kept your opinions on my hotel business and my husband to yourself, Ryan.
But I'm only telling the truth. I mean, nothing I'm saying about this is wrong at all, you know? So how about you take my advice and ditch a loser like Max? Instead, you can get back together with me and we can go back to being husband and wife. Think it over. I'm sure that you'll make the right decision in the end. And let me know once you're ready for a real man again.
Hey there, Max. I'm really sorry to bother you while I know that you're busy working, but I just wanted to make sure that you were okay.
Oh, hey there, honey. Yeah, I'm doing okay. Thanks for asking. I'm actually pretty free right now, so we could talk if you needed something.
Well, the thing is that I actually just got a message from my ex-husband not that long ago.
Wait a second. Are you talking about the man who accused you of cheating on him while the hotel business was looking really shaky? He really messaged you? That's crazy. Why would he bother doing that after all this time? Did he say at all what he wanted with you? Why did he even bother reaching out like that?
Well, he actually texted me because he wanted to ask me if I wanted to get back together with him. Can you believe that?
Hold on a second. You mean that after accusing you of cheating on him, leaving you while your business was in trouble, and disappearing for 3 years, came back out of the blue to ask you to take him back?
Yeah, that pretty much sums it all up quite well. But of course, I really don't want anything to do with him now. But I just thought that I should let you know that it happened. It's actually been on my mind, worrying me a lot since we talked. I mean, I just don't know why he would pop back up in my life like this. I have no idea what he wants from me, and it's got me really worried. Anyways, I really am sorry to bother you with all of this while you're at work. I don't want to give you more to worry about.
Julia, please. You know you don't have to apologize to me for anything, especially not coming to me about this. I feel like you've told enough about you and Ryan to know the kind of crap that he puts you through. But I just want you to know that I'm always going to have your back no matter what. I mean, we're husband and wife. We'll get through anything together, as a couple. Not just this business with your ex, but in anything. If there's ever anything that I can do for you, you know that you can always come to me, right?
Thank you so much, Max. I just really have no idea how I would be able to keep this hotel afloat if it weren't for you. I just wanted to let you know that I'm really thankful to have someone like you in my life, you know?
Oh, come on. You don't need to say all that. You know that I would do anything for you because I want to. So please, don't ever worry about coming to me with this kind of stuff. I'm happy that you trust me enough to do so.
Thank you so much for being so understanding. I should have known that there was nothing to worry about when it comes to you. But anyways, I just wanted to let you know that I've gotten everything ready for tomorrow, so I was going to go to bed pretty soon here.
Yeah, no problem at all. I hope you sleep well, Julia. See you tomorrow. So tell me, Julia, did you finally smarten up and decide to leave your husband like the little loser he is?
Ryan, I already told you that I have no intention at all of leaving my husband, and I'd appreciate it if you'd quit talking to me.
Are you kidding me? What do you mean you're not going to leave your husband? Don't you know what I could offer you? You're making a mistake, you stupid woman.
Making a mistake? Ryan, let's get something straight here. 3 years ago, you were the one that came to me asking for the divorce, remember? I had just inherited this hotel from my parents who had died only months ago in that terrible car crash. I was busy every day trying to learn how to run a hotel and manage staff and make guests happy, and you never did anything to help. Instead, you would just always put me down or insult me. You made me feel like an idiot for caring about my parents' legacy.
Well, you don't have any right to be mad at me. After all, you were the one cheating on me the whole time. So what do you have to say about that?
I have to say the same thing that I told you 3 years ago when you accused me of that. I never, ever cheated on you. You made that all up and refused to listen to anything I might say otherwise.
Yeah, sure. Whatever you say. Honestly, you can keep on believing that if you want. But the thing is that I'm not even mad that you cheated on me anymore. I'm willing to let that all just go into the past and never be mentioned again. But you should know that before our divorce, if you had just given me a bit more money like I asked you, none of this would have ever happened. I would have overlooked all your cheating, and I would have just let you go about your business. And all you had to do was give me a little more money every month. In fact, since we're getting back together, you should know that I'm only going to go along with it if you start giving me money every month again.
I see what this is all about now. You're having money problems, aren't you? Well, I suppose that you really haven't changed at all then. But do you really think that you're going to be able to pester me for money after all this time, Ryan?
Well, never let it be said that I didn't think you were a sharp one. You saw right through me, Julia.
I see. Well, I'm just going to need more time to get ready for all of this, so maybe just wait for me a little longer.
Finally! I was waiting so long for this. You have no idea how happy I am to read those words. Hey there, Julia. I was just wanting to check in and see if you had divorced your husband yet.
Ryan, it's literally been like 9 or 10 hours since we last messaged each other. No, I haven't divorced him yet.
Oh, come on. You have to hurry up and do it already. Just how long are you going to keep me waiting for this, Julia? Hurry up and leave your husband right now. If you have him sign the divorce papers now, we can probably get all the paperwork handled in a matter of hours. You still remember the window in the courthouse that you have to go to get all of that filed away, right?
Ryan, I would really appreciate it if you waited for me to reach out to you about all of this, okay?
Ugh, I should have known not to count on you to get anything done in a rush. You're always so lazy. Do you know that? You are always putting me off and telling me to wait for stuff.
You know, I've actually been wondering why you've chosen to come back to me out of all the other people I'm sure would love to date you.
So you finally caught on to that little fact, did you?
I mean, yeah, I was wondering since you sent me the first of these messages just why you wanted anything to do with me anymore.
Well, I'm not going to tell you. If I tell you what I'm really thinking, then I don't think you'd want to marry me anymore. So there.
I see. Well, either way, I am still going to be getting things ready here, so you can really tell me whatever you want.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You mean no matter what I say to you, you'll still marry me? Well, I guess in that case, I'd better tell you the whole truth. What I really want to get out of marrying you isn't you, but your hotel.
I'm not sure that I'm following what you mean. Ryan, would you mind explaining to me just a little bit better?
Well, I know that your hotel has to be at least worth something, right? I'm sure that if I sold it, I could get some kind of money from doing that. You can consider it your way of paying me back for all these years that I've been on my own. After all, you caused me a lot of trouble with that affair of yours.
But Ryan, you know that I inherited this hotel from my parents, right? Not only that, but you know how hard I've been working to keep the business going. You can't really be thinking about selling my family's business just to make a quick buck, right?
Oh, come on. I told you my plan already. Why can't you just leave that loser Max and just be with me already? You know that I'm the better match for you anyways. Just hurry up and get a divorce already.
I'm sorry, Ryan, but I just have a lot of preparations that I need to put in place first. And just what's with the rush anyways?
You don't need to know anything about why I'm in such a rush. You just need to do as I say. Now, just how much longer are you going to try and keep me waiting, huh?
Don't tell me that this is how badly you need money right now. Is that what this is all about?
You don't know anything at all. Just do as I say and quit asking questions already.
You know what I think it is? I think that you're in a lot of debt, and I do mean a lot. And I think you're looking for anything that will help you dig your way out of that.
Wait, what? How did you find out about my debt issue? Do you have someone following me or something like that? I can't believe that you do this to me.
I didn't hire anyone to follow you or anything like that. I've just heard through old mutual friends of ours about the trouble you're in. But that's not all that I've heard about you. I've heard that you're in so much debt and were so bad about borrowing money that you borrowed money from several banks all at once. And now it's obvious that you're just looking for someone who can step in and help you take care of your problem, isn't that right? That's why you contacted me after all this time, isn't it? To try and get me to help you pay off all the debt that you owe?
No, I'm telling you that me wanting to marry you and sell your hotel has nothing at all to do with all the debt that I'm in.
I see. So then it's about trying to pass off your debt to me after we get married? Is that closer to the truth then?
Would be wrong with that anyways, huh? I mean, a husband and wife out to help each other out, right? Of course I would ask for your help if we got married.
I see. Well, you do know that a spouse isn't actually bound to help out with their spouse's debt just because the two of them are married, right?
Ugh, I seriously hate having to deal with you. Do you know that? I never even wanted to marry you in the first place. Yes, this was all just a big scam to help with my debt. Is that what you wanted to hear?
Well, you didn't need to come out and admit it like that. I'd obviously already put that all together myself. But you should know that I never ever said that I was going to divorce my husband. I just kept telling you that I needed more time to get ready.
What do you even mean by that? Get ready for what? What are you talking about? I thought you were talking about getting ready for the divorce and marrying me again.
Well, yes, I did that on purpose so that you would talk to me and think that I was actually going to remarry you.
Please, you have to do this for me. I'm deadly serious. All my loans are due by tomorrow, and I don't have nearly enough money to pay off any of them.
Yeah, you really haven't changed at all in this time, have you? You're still the same stupid, selfish man that you've always been. I mean, I have to say that I really was lost and confused about what happened to us 3 years ago, but it's clear to me now that I made the right choice.
Well, you went way too far trying to dig into my personal life and looking into my debt and all. I'm going to make you pay for that. You won't get away from me that easily. Hey, you're Julia's husband, aren't you? What's your name again? Max or something like that, right? I'm sorry, who are you, and how did you get this number? I don't have you in my contacts, and I don't know anyone who would talk to me like that. Oh, come on. Surely you remember me. I still have your business card from the day we met, you know? In fact, that's exactly how I got your phone number in the first place. I see. Well, I don't really remember who you are at all, but I give out my business card to a lot of people, so... Well, I'm not here to talk about business or anything like that. But the thing is that I was telling your wife about how I'm in serious financial trouble, and she completely refused to help me out at all. So now she's left me with no other choice but to come to you and beg for help with my money problem. I see. I take it that you're Ryan then. I feel like I've heard enough about you from my wife to understand what's going on here. I take it that you ended up taking out way more money than you would be able to afford, and now you're asking my wife and I for help to pay it back, yes? Hey, don't you talk to me like you know me. This is the first time that we're ever really talking, and you need to show me some respect. Sorry, I need to show my wife's ex-husband, who insulted her and showed back in her life to beg for money, respect. Look, I'm not here to have this conversation with you right now, okay? The point is that I already tried talking to Julia about this, and she wouldn't listen to me. So no, you have to step up and help me since she refused to. After all, we've been married to the same woman. Surely that makes you want to help me, right? I see. Well, okay. I suppose I could try and help you if you're having money problems. We do have an opening for some cleaning stuff at our hotel, and you could earn some money for yourself that way. If you'd like, I can even talk to the HR office about getting you an advance on your first paycheck if you really need the help. You mean your solution is to just try and make me work for my money? Are you out of your mind? Why in the world would I want to go and work for some shabby old hotel on its last legs anyways? You and your wife ought to just shut up and give me the money I'm asking for already. Wow, you really are even worse than Julia described you as being, and I really don't think that was possible. You really just aren't capable of taking care of yourself at all, are you? Excuse me? What did you just say to me? Who do you think you are to talk to me like that, huh? Why don't you try saying that to my face, you little punk? Not only that, but you really do act like a spoiled little kid when you don't get your way. But I take it that you don't really know much about our hotel. You think I'm an idiot or something? I know the hotel, and it looks like a great big piece of crap. There's no way a place like that is going to stay open for another year, so just give me my money. Wait a second, you aren't talking about the old location of the hotel, are you? Old location? What are you talking about? A hotel is a hotel. You can't just up and move. What do you mean, old location? Well, I mean that a few months ago, we decided to move out the business, not just the hotel itself, to a better location. And we've been working hard to make sure that everything is all set with that transfer, since it's been such a process. But we already have plenty of bookings, and repeat guests who are coming to stay with it. So I really think that your information needs to be updated. But wait, I thought you were in that old rickety building. Are you telling me that you guys are operating out of a new place now? Not only that, but your business is actually doing well? Please tell me that you're lying about that. Of course we're not lying about that. Our management team from the old location all came up with and agreed to the idea of trying to move to a more profitable location. And now, we've been able to increase our amount of overseas guests and have a lot of local businesses wanting to work with us. So we're actually doing better than we've ever done before, and we've only been here a few months. Well, wait a second. If that's the case, then just how much money would a cleaner at one of your hotels make? Well, we would begin by hiring a cleaner on a part-time basis and move them along their career from there. But there's substantial room for growth in responsibilities and wages. In fact, a couple members of our management team started at our hotel as cleaning staff and worked their way up to where they are now. But since you already shot down the idea, I really don't imagine that a job like that interests you at all. Well, hold on a second there. That was only because I had no idea the kind of money that your place was raking up now. I mean, I said no because I didn't want to be cleaning some old hotel that was on its way out anyways. But if you're telling me that you're all working out of a new location, and that business is really, really good, then I'll have no problem taking a job as a cleaner. Of course, you'll have to pay me the absolute maximum you can while I'm there. Wow, that really didn't take much at all, did it? You were so ready to look down at a job just because of assumptions that you were making. And the moment you found out that you were just making things up to be mad at, and the job was actually great, you turn around and act as if you can demand whatever you want from it. And who cares if I'm doing that? You already offered me the job, so just give it to me already. You're right, Ryan. I did offer you the job, and you turned it down right then and there, without asking any more questions about it. So I'm afraid that was a one-time offer that I was not planning on making again. Anyways, my wife and I still have a lot of work to do to make sure our transition here continues to go smoothly. I don't know what you're going to do with the rest of your life, but just make sure that you leave Julie and I out of it, or else it.
After Max sent that final message to Ryan, something really must have snapped in Ryan to make him do what he did next. He showed up the next week at the hotel unannounced and told our receptionist that he was there to start his new job at the hotel. She had no idea what he was talking about, but Ryan said that he was offered it directly from Max. Apparently our receptionist was quite scared because Ryan came into the hotel looking really scruffy and had a crazy look in his eye. She cautiously agreed to let him into the supply closet where the janitorial equipment was. She told him to get changed and then she would give him a tour of the hotel. The receptionist did, however, call Max and explain about the strange man. It was only hours later that Max happened to be stepping out of his office that he found Ryan there, in uniform, sitting on a bench and playing on his phone. Max could tell just by looking that the mop next to the bucket that was by the bench hadn't been put in the water at all that day. Max called the police and had Ryan hauled out of the hotel for trespassing. I heard that he was let go with a stern warning and began to job hunt in earnest after that. Because he hadn't had a real job in years, though, almost nowhere wanted to hire him. In the end, Ryan was only able to find part-time jobs and took on 3 of them at once to be able to keep up with his debt repayment and afford to live in a tiny little apartment. I realized the irony of him working the night shift with one of his jobs when it was me working there that led to him to suspect that I was cheating. But aside from that, I really haven't thought about Ryan at all since the police dragged him out of our hotel kicking and screaming about having a job there. Max and I have been way too busy handling things at our hotel and all the new business that we've never had before. After things began to settle down at our hotel, Max and I agreed that we couldn't put off hiring more staff any longer. We didn't realize just how much our operation would grow at the new location, and we quickly took on dozens of new staff members. Now, finally, Max and I have more time to spend with each other as husband and wife. Although now that I'm pregnant, I suppose that I should say that we'll have more spare time to spend together as a family. When I do think back on him, I'm in some ways grateful to Ryan. After all, if he hadn't shown me who he really was and left me then I would never have the life that I have now.
Were you finally able to save up some money, Melanie? What are you going to do with the money? Move into a new house? Which house are you thinking of buying?
Did Kevin tell you all this? We haven't decided on a house yet, but we have begun our search for a new house.
I had no idea that you had so much saved up. Kevin tells me that you have enough saved up that you don't even need to get a mortgage.
I'm not going to be able to pay for the house in one lump sum.
But I don't want to rely on a bank loan, which is why I've been working really hard to save up as much as I can. I see. So you are saving up to buy a new house. I thought that you were stingy, but I guess you had your reasons.
I guess you could say that. I've always been frugal, so saving up wasn't all that difficult for me. I've been married to Kevin for 15 years now, and the entire time I've been saving up for our dream home.
So that probably means you have around $300,000 saved up. Am I right?
I'm not comfortable discussing the amount of money I have sitting on my bank account. Why are you so interested in my savings?
Well, we're family now, so I think that I have the right to ask and know about these things.
I suppose, but
I was just thinking about how nice it would be for me to move into a new house as well. What do you say to living together?
I'm sorry, but I plan to live in my new house with Kevin and no one else.
I'm your mother-in-law. How could you say no to me?
I'm sorry, but it's not in our plans to live under the same roof as you. We told you the same thing when Kevin and I got married. Kevin and I have been dreaming of purchasing a house of our own, and the last thing we want to do is say yes to moving in with you.
Why are you so cold to me? What do you have against me? Don't you think that you're being a little rude to me?
Ever since you got divorced, you've been relying on Kevin for money.
I have, but Kevin is my son. I'm allowed to ask for his financial help if I need it. I raised him, so I should be able to receive money from him.
Kevin never gave you his money, he's lending it to you. On top of that, he's been sending you monthly payments to help out with your living expenses. We know that you're in a lot of debt. The last time that you came over to see us, you stole some of our valuable possessions from us. I'm sure you can see why we wouldn't want to live under the same roof as you.
You say that you can't live with me, but you're letting another woman live under your roof? What's that about?
She's my great aunt. She's been good to me, and now it's my turn to take care of her.
But it seems unfair that you'd let your great aunt live with you and not me. I'm Kevin's mother.
We can't get dragged into your financial problems. And my great aunt is only living with us temporarily. Once Kevin and I purchase a new home, my great aunt will no longer be living with us. I mean, the house that we're living in now is her house. I've been helping her out because she recently had some medical problems.
I really do hope that you and Kevin will invite me to move into your new house with you. I won't give up so easily.
Well, Kevin and I aren't going to give in either. I need to go now.
Melanie, you're working today, right?
Yes, that's right. Why do you ask?
Well, my mother was acting stranger than usual.
How so?
Well, she says that she's coming over to the house now. I told her that you're at work, but she wouldn't listen. She says that even if you're not here, she'd be coming over anyway. Did she text you?
No, she didn't. And this is the first time I'm hearing about it.
Your great aunt is the only one at home right now, correct? Has my mother been introduced to your great aunt? I can't remember.
I don't think that the two of them have met before. But I'm sure that my great aunt would let her into the house seeing as she's your mother. I hope that your mother doesn't cause any trouble. I don't trust her. I'm gonna give a call to my great aunt now.
That would be the smart thing to do. I don't trust my mother either.
I'm starting to get worried. I hope that your mother is on her best behavior today.
I took the liberty of buying your new house for you.
Excuse me? Why did you go see my great aunt today? What did you need?
I already paid for the house. You have nothing to worry about. I didn't realize how easy it was to withdraw money from your account. I couldn't withdraw the entire amount in one go, so I went to the bank numerous times. The real estate agent allowed me to sign the contract for the house when I showed them the balance in your bank account. I'm going to need all the money in your account to pay for our new house.
What in the world are you talking about?
I know that you said you wanted a new house, but with the money you had, I could only purchase a second-hand property. Since I was the one that found this amazing house, I think that it makes sense that I live there with you and Kevin.
I'm not quite following you. What is this about? How were you able to take my money and go buy a house?
Once I figured out your passcode, it was all very easy. Thank you for saving up all that money.
Do you realize how crazy you're sounding right now? If you really did what you claim, it means you stole from me and made a huge purchase. I don't understand why you're being so cavalier right now.
I'm really grateful that you put in a lot of effort to save up all that money. I'm really looking forward to living in the house that I purchased with your money. You and Kevin are welcome to live with me if you'd like. How many times do I have to tell you that Kevin and I have no plans to live under the same roof as you? How did you get a hold of my bank book and card? I withdrew the $300,000 in your account and used the money to buy myself a house. Since we're a family, your money is my money, so I'm assuming that you have no issues with this, right? I have my bank book right here. I don't know what you're talking about. What? I went to check that I had it after you told me about what you had done. But the bank book which belongs to my great aunt is missing. Your great aunt? Yes, the woman who let you into the house today? She only let you in because you're Kevin's mother. My great aunt never expected you to be a thief, too. She was terribly shocked when she realized that you had taken her bank book. I don't get it. So you're saying that I took your great aunt's bank book instead of yours? But it had your maiden name on it. Are you sure about that? My first name is Melanie, and my great aunt's first name is Melania. People confuse our names all the time because they're so similar. I think that you took my great aunt's bank book and assumed that it was mine. Oh, you're right. What am I supposed to do now? Why does your great aunt have so much money? Well, I guess the money is mine now. Do you not understand the gravity of what you've done? You committed a serious crime and you will be punished. You do understand that, don't you? Look, it was an accident. I took her money thinking it was yours. I mean, we're all family, so I don't think that it's a crime. Even if we are family, that doesn't make it okay for you to steal our money. My great aunt is furious with you. Okay. She told me that she's going to get her money back from you, and she's going to make sure that you don't take any more money from her. Well, I need the money to pay for my new house. Well, it's not your money to take. You shouldn't be buying a house if you can't afford it. My great aunt was careless for writing down her passcode, but that doesn't give you the right to steal her money. You're absurd for thinking you could steal your family's money and spend it on something so big like a house. You're a criminal. I wasn't stealing that money. It's mine since I'm a part of your family now. Besides, I thought that money was yours. I was doing you a favor by buying you a house, which you were going to buy anyway. I know how busy you and Kevin are with work. I was only trying to help. Since I chose a house suited to my needs, I think that it would make sense for me to move in with you. Do you realize how outrageous this is? You need to own up to your crime. You committed theft. Aren't you blowing things out of proportion here? This is all a big misunderstanding. I only borrowed the money. I was going to pay it back eventually. Neither me or my great aunt ever agreed to lend you the money, which makes it a crime. You took the money without our consent. Don't try to get out of this by saying it was a misunderstanding. Wait a minute, Melanie. Could you please have a word with your great aunt and sort this all out? She wants you to pay her back the money ASAP. But I need the money to pay for the new house. Could she please give me a little time to come up with the money? She doesn't care. She wants you to pay her back, and if you can't, she'll go to the police. The police? She can't do that to me. Please don't make such a big deal out of this. We don't need to involve the police. But you committed a crime. You should have never taken my great aunt's bank book and card. Fine, I'll return everything to your great aunt. Are you happy now? Will you give me your savings instead? Huh? I need your money to buy us our new house. That way your great aunt can have her money back. You must be joking. Why in the world would I give you my hard-earned money? No way! I deserve to live in that new house. I'd rather die than give you my money. Besides, I also bought a new house, so I don't have any savings left. Oh, so you already bought a house? Yes, we did. We didn't want to tell you because we didn't want you to think that you could move in with us. We were smart not to share any information with you. After all, you are a criminal. I'm not a criminal. Stop calling me one. I went out of my way to find you a nice house that we could all live in. I know that you bought that house for yourself. You don't care about anyone but yourself. Stop trying to rationalize your actions. You should just admit that you committed a crime and receive the punishment that you deserve. You're not making any sense right now. The only thing that I wanted was to live happily with my son and his wife. What's wrong with that? And since you had the money, I was going to use it to buy us a new house. I didn't do anything wrong. We're family, remember? I don't consider you to be family, especially after what you did to my great aunt. What? Neither Kevin or I agreed to live with you or give you any of our money. And we definitely did not ask you to go out and buy a house for us. What you did is a crime. Own up to it. To my great aunt, you're just some thief that came into her house and stole her money. Some may consider what I did to be a crime, but that was not my intention and you know it. You know that I didn't do this on purpose. I don't know what your intentions were, but you committed a crime and you need to take responsibility for your actions. You're going to get arrested for theft and you're going to end up paying back the money in full, whether you like it or not. You're going to let the police arrest me? I'll pay back the money, so don't have me arrested. Well, Kevin and I want nothing to do with you anymore. Stay out of our lives. How can you say that to me? After everything that you put us through, I think you saw this coming. We no longer consider you to be a part of our family. I'm Kevin's mother. You can't do that to me. Kevin didn't choose to be your son. I'm glad that he's finally able to cut you out of his life. You gave him a good enough reason to do so. Please don't try to get in touch with us anymore. We don't want to be associated with a criminal like you. I can't believe that you're doing this to me. I'm sure that once Kevin comes to his senses, he'll realize that I mean more to him than you ever will. I won't forgive you for this. You should stop blaming me and realize that you did this all on your own. You're the one that committed a crime and messed up your life. Don't blame me for any of it. It was nice knowing you, Kaia. Goodbye. In the end, Kaia was arrested after Melanie and her great-aunt reported her crime to the police. Kaia's entire family cut her off, and she was completely alone to deal with the mess that she had created. She's now going to have to spend the rest of her life paying back the money that she stole. It turned out that the real estate agent that Kaia had reached out to buy the new house was a bad one, and they never returned the down payment on the house even after the deal was called off. Kaia tried to get out of her money problems by stealing from her family, but she ended up with more debt than she ever imagined. She shouldn't have been so reckless with her spending, and had she been less selfish, none of this may have happened. As for Kevin and Melanie, they moved into their new house and are living a happy and carefree life now that Kaia is out of their lives. No one knows what happened to Kaia after she came out of jail, but no one cares enough to want to help her out. Kaia will just have to deal with the problems in her life on her own. Kaia spent too much of her life taking from others and not appreciating it, so she will now have to suffer the poor choices of her past.
Lisa, how are you? I hope you're not too busy. Can I go and borrow it today as we promised?
Hi, Susie. What are you talking about?
You can't have forgotten already. You're not that old. I guess it slipped your mind. You promised me that I could borrow your car for a couple of days. Remember? You shouldn't forget promises like that. It's not very polite, you know.
No, I haven't promised anything like that. I never once said that it was okay. I said that I can't allow you to borrow my car over and over. Don't forget things for your own convenience. I'm not letting you borrow my car, and that's final.
Oh, come on. I need a car. We're planning on leaving tomorrow. I've already paid for the camping site, so we can't delay our trip. We need to borrow your car or we won't be able to go enjoy our holiday. We're going to miss out on camping by the sea just because you wanted to be mean.
There's no point guilt-tripping me. I already told you to get a rent-a-car. It's my car and I need to use it tomorrow. I can't lend it to you.
But rental cars are so expensive. It'll be impossible to find a cheap one at this last minute. Also, tomorrow's a federal holiday. There aren't going to be any vacancies. Everyone's going to have the day off, so it'll be impossible to find a car now.
Why should I care? I already told you that I can't lend you my car weeks ago. You should have booked a car then. And why can't you use your own car?
Why do you have to be so horrible? It's being repaired. It's not at home at the moment. I don't have my own car, and I can't get a rental car, so you have to lend me yours. Plus, if I borrow your car, I don't have to pay a thing.
What makes you think you can borrow it without paying? I'm not lending it to you. I don't care how expensive rent-a-cars are. That's your own fault for not booking in advance. You'll have to solve this problem yourself. It's got nothing to do with me.
Don't say that. I can't believe you were this much of a bully. I thought you were much kinder than that. Oh, I'm so disappointed.
It's not a matter of being kind. No matter how bad you try and make me feel, I'm not lending you my car. End of story.
Whenever your son wanted to borrow my daughter's toys, I always let him. I think it's only fair that you be just as generous. You're an adult, aren't you?
Borrowing toys and borrowing a car are completely different. You can't honestly think that it's the same thing. Cars involve insurance, and it'll get complicated if you have an accident or happen to damage the car. And a car is worth a lot more than a child's toy. You understand that, don't you?
But my husband is good at driving. He won't have an accident or do anything that could damage the car. So you don't have to worry about insurance. We've got road service, so if we get a flat tire or run out of gas or something, we'll be able to sort it out.
Whether your husband is good at driving or not, you could still get caught up in an accident. I'm talking about if someone is injured. I can't let you borrow my car. That would be too irresponsible. Find a rent-a-car.
Oh, please! It's just for a few days. You can't be that selfish. Why can't you be a bit more understanding?
That's what I want to say. If you think I'm being selfish, then so be it. Anyway, I've got to get back to work. I have a meeting, and I don't have time to be discussing this with you. I'm not going to be able to respond to your messages, so there's no point in messaging me. Susie, pick up the phone! What do you think you're doing? What did you do with my car? There's no point pretending that your phone is off. I know that it was you who took my car. If you don't answer my messages or calls, I'll report this to the police.
What? The police? You're kidding! You're overreacting!
Why were you ignoring my messages? What have you done with my car? I can't believe you'd take it without my permission. What is wrong with you? I told you that I didn't want to lend it to you.
You're so rude! I didn't take it without permission! Your husband was the one that gave me your car keys.
That's because you lied and told him that I promised to lend it to you. Even though I told you several times that I didn't want to, you went against my wishes. My husband was naive to believe you, but that's because neither of us knew up until now that you were this untrustworthy. It looks like he tried to call me, but like I told you, I was in a meeting. You took advantage of that and coerced my husband. Anyway, I want you to return my car. We need it tomorrow. If you return it right now, I won't involve the police.
Please don't call the police. I haven't done anything wrong. Your husband gave us the keys, so that means he gave us permission to borrow it. Why are you being so mean? You should just accept his decision.
It's not his decision to make. The car is mine. It's not his property, so no matter what he said, my word is final. Plus, he only gave you the keys because you convinced him that I had said yes, but had forgotten to mention it to him.
It's not his car? Well, I didn't know that. but he's still the one that gave us the keys. It's such a big car. It must come in really handy for all sorts of occasions. It's perfect for carrying our camping equipment.
Just hurry up and bring it back.
But we've already finished loading it with all of our stuff. It's a plan to take everything out again, so we'll return it after we've come back from our trip. That's good enough, isn't it?
Good enough? Not nearly. There's nothing good about this situation. I need my car so that we can visit my parents for the holidays tomorrow. How am I supposed to get there without a car?
I don't know. Why don't you get a rent-a-car? If you can buy a big car like this, I'm sure you can afford it.
You're joking, right? You're telling me to get a rent-a-car? Why should I be the one getting a rent-a-car when I've got a perfectly good car of my own? A car that you've stolen from me. You should be the one paying for a rent-a-car if yours isn't available. Be an adult and give me back my car.
But it took so much time getting all of our stuff in the car. It'll take ages to get it all off again. It'll just be a waste of time if we do that. And I don't want to do anything that bothersome. If you have a problem with me borrowing your car, you should talk to your husband. I didn't steal the keys. He handed them to me. We only borrowed the car because he said we could. It's not our fault you didn't talk to your husband about not letting us borrow your car. Our kids get along really well, so you don't want to ruin their friendship with something so trivial, do you? If they knew what you were saying, they would be really disappointed. I'm sure your son would be happy to let us borrow the car for a day or two.
Right now, Sam's opinion and my husband's opinion don't matter. That's my car you've taken. I'm going to pick it up, so please unload your things and have it ready for me to take home. I'll have to take a taxi to go to your place, so expect a bill in the mail. I wouldn't have had to do this if you had just given me back my car, but I had no choice.
You can't come here. Even if you do, there's no point. We've already left. Instead of wasting money on a taxi, you should go home.
I know that you're lying and you're still at home. Did you forget that Sally lives opposite you? She called me to tell me that my car was parked on the side of the road. She also told me that parking there is off limits because there's a crosswalk nearby. You were pretty confident that you wouldn't cause an accident, but you're already doing something so irresponsible. How am I supposed to trust you with my car? By the way, Sally thought about calling the police since it's pretty dangerous, but she was kind enough to call me first since she recognized it as my car. I made it clear that I hadn't parked it there and told her that it had been stolen, so you better hurry up and get your things out and return it to me before I really do call the police.
You told her that I stole it? How could you say that? How could you accuse me of something like that?
It's not an accusation, it's the truth. I'm asking you to return it, but you're refusing. That means that you've stolen it. I'm going to collect my car, but if the police find it parked in a no parking zone before I can get there, there's nothing I can do to help you. You'll have committed a crime.
I can't believe you told Sally that I stole your car. I can't believe you have the nerve to victimize yourself like that. I haven't done anything to deserve all of this. I thought you were so kind, but now I know that was all an act. You're horrible. How could you spread rumors about me like that? I thought we were friends.
You say you haven't done anything. You took my car without my permission. And then you parked it in a no parking zone. What were you thinking? If your definition of kind is letting you step all over me, then you're just being selfish.
I'm sorry. I didn't think you would be so bothered by me borrowing your car. But you didn't have to tell Sally that I had stolen it. You went too far, Lisa. I can't believe I ever thought of you as a friend.
I told you over and over again that I didn't want to lend you my car. How many times do I have to tell you no before you understand that it means no? And I haven't spread any rumors. I've only told Sally the truth about what happened. Don't guilt trip me.
Oh, okay. I understand that you didn't want to lend me your car. But please, don't call the police. You're just overreacting. I've already apologized. You should forgive me already.
The situation has gone beyond being settled by a simple apology. Wait, You got a scratch on my car?
What? What are you talking about? We haven't done anything. I told you my husband is a good driver.
I'm on the phone with Sally and she went to take a look at my car for me. She told me that there was a scratch on the side, on my door. What have you done? This is one of the reasons why I didn't want to let you borrow my car.
It's not my fault. Somebody must have scratched it when they passed by. They should have taken more care when they drove by. It's not my responsibility, so I don't have to pay anything, do I?
You're at home, aren't you? I've had enough of discussing this with you. Would you hurry up and return my car? If you won't, I'll have to call the police. I'm not taking no for an answer.
I said I'm sorry. How many times do I have to apologize? We'll be back from our trip tomorrow, so I'll return it then. It's just a scratch, so it's not like it needs urgent repairs.
No, you're returning it now! If you don't come back with my car within an hour, I'm reporting it to the police as a theft. Once I've called the police, I'll have to head to yours in a taxi to collect my car, so I'll be billing you with a taxi fee. Do you understand? I'm being very serious. I want my car back.
Wait a minute, just calm down. You're being really unreasonable. My husband's apologizing too, so please forgive us. Ugh, he said that he got carried away. Please calm down. Don't call the police on us. We didn't mean to do anything.
Carried away. He says he got carried away? Do you really think that that's a good enough excuse for what you've done? You stole and got a scratch on my brand new car after I told you repeatedly that I didn't want to let you borrow it. Your husband knew that I hadn't given you permission, but he still cooperated with you. I can't believe either of you. You really must be perfect for each other if you can be so accepting of your partner's crimes.
May is apologizing too, so would you please forgive us? We'll babysit Sam whenever you want. You must be really busy with work, so dealing with the police will take up a lot of time, don't you think? Let's just forget about this.
Why are you bringing May into this? She's your daughter, but the only ones that are to blame are you and your husband. Why should she be apologizing with you? May has no reason to feel bad for any of this.
I thought that you were still kind enough to forgive us if May apologized with us. Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking.
I've already called the police.
What? You're joking.
I'm heading over, so have my car ready for me to take home. I want everything you've loaded into it removed. If it's still got stuff in it when I arrive, I'll take it home anyway and have everything given to charity. I suggest you work very quickly.
You haven't actually called the police, have you? You're just playing with me, right?
Sally was kind enough to stay with the car, so it hasn't been towed, but if she hadn't been standing by the car, you might have been left with a ticket.
Yeah, but it's not that big a deal. I thought it would be okay if we left for just one night. I didn't think there would be any problem. Are you already on your way? It would be a waste to pay for a taxi. I'll have my husband take your car back to you, so you don't have to come. You don't have to call the police either.
I'm already on my way. I can't trust anything you say anymore, and God forbid, I don't want things made worse by your husband having an accident on the way to my place. I'll need to have someone take a look at the scratch on the side, so I'll be taking my car straight into the local repair shop myself.
All right, if you say so. We'll pay a little bit for the repairs. So can you forgive us? Please don't call the police on us. You'll just be making a big deal out of a really small issue. Please. My mother-in-law lives in the neighborhood, and if she hears about this, oh, she'll be furious. She already hates me so much. If she finds out the police were involved, she'll never forgive me.
Susie, that's your own problem, not mine. If you didn't want the police involved, you should have returned my car when I first asked you to, not after the millionth time. Anyway, I'm curious. Why didn't you park my car in your apartment's parking space? It should be open if your car is being repaired, right?
Huh?
You have a parking space reserved for your apartment, which you usually use for your car, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but we can't use it right now.
Because your car is still parked there. It's not being repaired, is it?
No, my car's out for repairs. I just can't use the parking space right now.
You want to use my car because it was big and convenient for carrying camping items, right? Your car wasn't big enough, so you decided to use mine. You lied to me about that too, didn't you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. I didn't know how to explain. I thought you wouldn't let me borrow your car if you knew that mine was still usable. Ugh, I missed the chance to tell you the truth.
You didn't mean to? You clearly thought that the best way to get me to lend you my car was to deceive me. You can't pretend that you didn't lie on purpose. You say you missed the chance to tell me, but I don't think you ever planned to tell me the truth. And you wonder why I can't trust you with my car?
I'm really sorry. I'll pay for the repairs, so please forgive me.
I've had to pay for a taxi to get to your house, so I want you to pay for that too. I'll be sending you a bill for the repairs and the taxi fare, and I'll be talking with my lawyers. You took my car without my permission, so I can press charges for theft, you know.
Please don't do that. Lisa, there's a police car outside my apartment. Did you really call the police?
Yes, I did. I reported the theft a few minutes ago. I'll be there within a few minutes myself. I suggest you go down to the police and be honest about what you've done. If you don't, you'll just make things worse, and your mother-in-law will find out in the worst possible way. You don't want to make a fuss in front of all your neighbors, do you? How ironic. If you had just accepted that I didn't want to lend you my car and booked a rent-a-car, you might have saved a few more dollars, and you would have been able to avoid such an embarrassing situation. In the end, a police car had come to check up on the situation, not just because Lisa had reported the theft, but because there had been calls from the neighbors about the car being parked in a no-parking zone. Many neighbors had come out to see what was going on and were gossiping about the appearance of a police car and about Susie's grand theft auto. Susie and her husband were given a warning by the police officer, and the scratch turned out to be the doing of one of the neighbor's children, but Susie's husband had to take full responsibility since he was the one that parked the car there. Lisa was able to use that in demanding that they pay the full amount of repairs. Susie and her husband ended up paying a lot more than they would have done if they had just rented a car. Of course, Susie and her family couldn't go on holiday, and her mother-in-law found out about what they had done. She was lectured and lost all her trust. On top of that, none of Susie's friends would hang out with her after they had heard what she had done. She had to pay a lot more than she expected financially and socially. And so it looks like she should have just booked a rent-a-car.
Hey, Sam, are you there? Please answer me when you see these messages. I'm really, really confused right now. I mean, the house is completely empty. What's going on? Where are you? Can you please get back to me soon?
What do you mean? Why do you need me to explain all of this to you when I left a letter there in the house for you to read?
Well, I know, I saw it and I read the letter, but still, it just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Well, I really don't know what all you want me to tell you. I mean, I wrote it all in plain English in that letter. This really shouldn't be all that difficult. Are you seriously going to make me restate all that I wrote in there for you? What was even the point of going out of my way to write that?
Well, what you wrote in the letter was that you didn't want to be married to me any longer. You said that you never, ever wanted to see me again as well. Is all of this really true? Please tell me that you're not serious about this.
Of course I'm serious. You said so yourself that the house was mostly empty. I even wrote you the damn letter. But here's the thing. You and I just don't work out well together. I mean, let's just face some of the facts, right? I come from an extremely wealthy and successful family. I just really don't see how you could ever think that you and I go well together. I mean, did you really think that you were good enough for me?
Are you saying that you really think that you're so much better than me? I can't believe what I'm reading.
Oh, come on. We both know this was true. Don't pretend like you're surprised to hear any of this. I've been wanting to do this for a while now. And it's just I was only now able to bring myself to do it. But now that it's all said and done, I'll make one thing clear. You and I are not getting married. Do you understand me?
But I had no idea that you wanted to do any of this. Did I do something to you? I'm sorry if I screwed up.
You don't have anything to apologize for. The thing is that it was always going to end up like this. But anyways, now that we understand each other, can you please never ever contact me again?
You mean you really don't think that there's anything that we can do to make this work at all? You want to be rid of me that badly?
Look, I've decided that I want to spend the rest of my life with another woman. Do you understand me? So, I don't need you in my life making a mess of things anymore.
I don't even know what to say to any of this. You're not the person that I thought you were at all, Sam. I can't believe that you're actually doing all of this the day before you and I were supposed to get married.
Well, I knew that I was running out of time, and so I had to make a decision fast. Besides, better to do this now while we're not married than wait until we are, right?
Is this funny to you? Is what you're doing to me some kind of joke or something like that? What even am I to you that you think that you can treat me like this? That you think you can talk to me this way?
I don't really care all that much about you at all, Hilda. I just want to be able to live my life the way that I see fit. Do you understand?
Be that as it may, don't you think there were nicer ways that you could have gone about this? Or maybe you just shouldn't have hidden all of these thoughts and emotions from me in the first place.
I wasn't hiding anything from you. I was always the way better person than you ever were, and I meant it when I said that this was always going to end this way. But don't worry. If you're upset because of the last-minute engagement cancellation, then I could pay you off. There's no need to throw a fit.
You really are just pathetic. Do you know that? I hope that this makes you happy at least.
Actually, the only pathetic one around here is you, Hilda. But don't worry about me. I am sure that I'll be just fine without you.
Bree, are you there? I really don't know what to even think right now, but I need to know the truth. Did you do it? Oh, hey, Hilda. I'm sorry, I'm not sure that I understand what you're talking about. Did I do what? Is everything okay? Look, if I'm wrong about this, then I am really, really sorry, but I just need to know if you're with Sam. Oh, yes, we're together. He was actually so happy when I said that I would go out with him, and now I've tried squeezing him for everything that he's worth, so I'll probably dump him soon. But do you know exactly what you're going to do from here on out? Well, I was only going to do what we talked about doing on the phone, Hilda. I mean, this was our plan, right? That's why we've done all that we have. I know that we planned this all out, but, well, I guess I'm just surprised at how well it actually worked. I mean, you got together with Sam, got him to shower you with gifts and money. Well, a girl has got to live, doesn't she? But you are still happy that we're doing this, aren't you? I mean, you know that Sam is going to get in trouble from here on out, right? You know, I really was thinking that he was going to wait until the day of the wedding. I was actually totally ready to expose him during a speech that I was going to give that day. Oh, shoot. Well, that would have been amazing to see. I'm really sorry that I took your chance to get back at him like that. That would have rocked. But I guess it all worked out because now I'm going to be able to squeeze him for even more money before everything comes crashing down on him. Yeah, I mean, as long as all of that happens, I suppose that's what really matters. But I guess this means that you probably need to leave town for a while. Do you have any idea when you're going to be coming back? Oh, I don't think I'll be going back to town anytime soon. But as soon as I know where I'm going to end up, I'll let you know and invite you over. Great. I really can't wait to see where it is that you end up. Just make sure to take care of yourself. I know that we've done a lot and have come this far, but Who knows what a dog like Sam will do when he's backed into a corner? Oh, I am sure that things are going to be just fine. I think I know how to handle a guy like Sam. But good luck getting over all that's happened. I really mean that. I hope that you find someone really nice when you're ready to start dating again. Thank you so much, Bree. Yes, it may be a little soon right now, but I am ready to be with someone who actually wants to be with me. I guess that means that I'll hear from you when all of this is quieted down a little more then, right? I guess so. Good luck with everything, and I'll talk to you then, Hilda. Hey, Sam, I was just curious. Did you actually mean to send me an invitation to your wedding? This isn't a joke, right?
Hey there, Hilda. Of course it's not a joke. I would love for you to be at my wedding. You will actually show up there, won't you?
Don't you think that it's a bit early to be getting married given that we just broke off our engagement? I mean, we literally broke up only a month ago. How are you already getting married to someone else?
I don't know what you want me to say. I found the perfect woman for me. And I don't see what would be the point in waiting through a long engagement. So, after I proposed to my new fiancé, she said that she wanted to get married as possible. It wasn't easy, but we're all set up to get married next month. After all, I really want to see my loser ex-fiancé's face while I get married before she does.
Well, you know that you don't have to hide the fact that you're getting married to my friend Bree anymore.
I don't need you to tell me that. After all, her name is on the wedding invitation, isn't it? I bet you were so shocked when you realized who I was getting married to. But there's nothing you can do about it now. We're going to get married, and that's that.
Well, I guess I didn't know for sure, but I was able to put some of the clues together and piece it all.
Man, you sure are good at pretending as if I didn't just ruin your life. After all, Bree is your best friend in the whole wide world. I bet that you never thought in a million years that a friend as close as Bree would stab you in the back like this. You're probably so shocked, you don't even know what to even say.
That really isn't it at all, actually. If anything, I'm surprised that you would want to marry a woman who would betray her best friend so easily.
Well, I don't know what you want me to say. We all have crazy decisions to make on the path of true love. And so if your friend wants to betray you in the same way that I did, then if anything, that tells me that her and I are really meant to be together.
Well, I don't know if that's more sad or creepy or both, but that is not how a good relationship starts.
And just what do you know about good relationships, huh? You lost your fiancé and your best friend all in one fell swoop. You're just jealous and lonely. But I guess I can't blame you for it. After all, not only did you lose your fiancé and your best friend, but you lost them because they're actually getting married.
I know what being betrayed means, and I understand what it means in this context. Thank you, Sam.
Well, then I guess you know that you only have yourself to blame for all of this, right? If you wanted to stay with me, then you should have worked hard to make yourself seem like a good wife. I mean, you do know that Bree is the daughter of a CEO, right? Not only that, but she is just gorgeous as well. And on top of that, she always dressed so nice and makes herself look so pretty. She's basically the perfect catch from her family down to herself. And I've made her all mine.
Right. Well, I guess if you're so set on the message, then I'll go to your wedding.
Wait a second. You mean, even after all that I've said here, that you'll still want to go to my wedding? Are you being serious?
What do you mean? Are you surprised that I'd accept your invitation? I just want to be there to watch when everything comes crashing down on top of you and you're left with nothing.
What in the world are you talking about? You think that I'm going to come out the loser in this? You've already lost. It's all over. Don't you get that?
So you say. But I don't think that the final curtain is quite fallen yet. Either way, I think we'll both have an eventful day tomorrow.
You think that I don't know you're just trying to get me nervous before my wedding? Well, it's not going to work, you loser. Good morning, Hilda. Isn't it just a beautiful day outside? I bet that you're sure eating your words that you had for me yesterday.
I'm sorry, did you get up this early on your wedding day just to send me texts like this? Don't you have more important things to be doing, like, I don't know, getting ready for the wedding?
Don't you try and tell me what to do. I know exactly what I need to be doing. Thank you very much. And did you really think that I was just going to ignore you all day because I'm getting married?
I didn't expect you to, if I can be honest. I would have just thought that you'd have other things to do in the meantime.
Oh, don't you worry about the wedding. I had already had practice arranging for one. So planning the second one was a cinch. Can't wait to see you there.
It's kind of funny, isn't it? You're looking forward to getting married and I'm looking forward to your downfall. Which one is it going to be?
Okay, your jealousy is really getting out of control. Do you know that? Did you really think I was going to choose a pauper like you when I had a princess who wanted to marry me instead? Our wedding is going to cost $200,000. Did you know that? So you better not miss it.
I guess you still haven't seen the news then, have you? You really might want to check out what's going on.
What are you talking about? What news? Why would I want to waste my time watching something boring like that when I could be messing with you instead?
Well, it's just that you're the one that said you were having the $200,000 wedding, but I really don't think you know anything.
Okay, fine. I'll play along and check out the news. Wait a second. No, this can't be real. Please tell me that this was some kind of joke or something. This can't be.
Ah, I take it that you found the story that I was talking about then? So what do you think?
I just mean, it's going to rain today. I checked the weather just last night and it said it was going to be clear. But now the weather changed to be rainy. Oh man, this totally sucks. We were going to have the reception outdoors this afternoon.
You know what? Don't say that I didn't try to warn you. I guess we'll just see each other at the wedding.
Is that all you had for me? A little rain? Did you really think that I would ever let something like that slow me down? You're nothing but a sore loser, Hilda. Hey there, Hilda. Do you have any idea where Bree is right now? I mean, our wedding is going to be starting soon, and I thought she would be here by now. But I haven't even seen her parents around here. Do you have any idea what might be happening?
Yeah, I don't think that Bree is actually going to be showing up at your wedding today.
What are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense. It's literally Bree and I who are getting married. Of course she's going to show up. I don't know, maybe she's just driving here with her parents, and their car got stuck in some traffic somewhere.
But don't you think that you'd be able to reach her if she was just stuck in traffic with her parents? Actually, the thing is that the company that Bree's parents own actually filed for bankruptcy today. It was actually all over the news yesterday. It turns out that they were in a lot of corporate debt, and in the end, that was their undoing. You mean you still haven't heard the news?
But you mean, are you telling me that none of them are going to be at my wedding because the company went under?
That's right. I think they all fled in the night. Although I had heard from Bree that this was all just a matter of time before it happened. I guess that her parents have always been pretty reckless with money and investments, and this is the end product.
But then, does that mean that you knew this was coming this whole time?
Yeah, of course I knew. After all, Bree told me because we're best friends. But even if she hadn't told me, her dad's company was huge, and I'm sure that some news would have reached me either way.
No, This can't be right. This can't be happening. What is going to happen to me if I don't get married today?
That really isn't any of my business at all, but I just thought that you should know that's why you won't be seeing Bree today. But that's just fine for you, right? After all, it seemed like you were more interested in who her family was than who she is.
I won't get to see her today. But then what's going to happen to the wedding? This is really, really bad. What's going to happen to everything here?
Oh, well, the wedding is going on. Don't worry about that. I'll even MC the whole thing.
Don't be ridiculous. How will that work at all, huh? How are you supposed to have a wedding when the bride isn't even going to be here?
Oh, trust me, it'll be fun. After all your guests are here and waiting for the ceremony to begin. You should come on out.
I don't even know what to think. My head is spinning. This wasn't supposed to happen.
We don't have time for you to freak out. The wedding should have started a few minutes ago. Just how long are you going to keep your adoring fans waiting? You can hear them getting restless, can't you?
What? What did you do? What the heck is this? You call this a wedding? I want you to explain what is going on right now.
I'm pretty sure that I already spelled it all out for you in the speech that I just gave. Weren't you listening? I was changing the event from your wedding to your big reveal party. Now everyone is going to get to hear all about the wrong that you've done. But don't worry, we're just getting started. And it sounded like the crowd is really getting riled up. I mean, I think they especially liked the parts where I went into all that detail about just what kind of things that you've been getting up to in the past few weeks.
But how could you do this? Don't you know that I have family and relatives and friends here? Why are you doing this to me in front of all of them?
Oh, don't you worry. You still haven't seen anything yet. I just told you that we're only getting started. After all, I have all the proof about the affair that you've been having at your office.
Wait a second. You mean to tell me that you knew that I was doing that?
Of course I knew that you were doing that. What was the girl's name again? Jessica? You remember her, right? She was the girl that you tried to propose to with the ring that you gave me. And that wasn't even before we were broken up. I remember when I thought that I had lost your engagement ring. I felt so awful. I was crying for days and begged you to forgive me for what I'd done, but deep down I knew that I couldn't have lost it.
Wait, come on now. You're not actually going to tell everyone here about all of that, right? Don't you know the damage to my reputation you'll do by doing something like that?
Well, I don't even think that's the worst part. After all, it might have meant something if you stayed together with Jessica, but you didn't. Instead, you fled to go and link up with Bree the moment you thought that she had any interest in you. But she knew that you were going to be coming for her from a mile away.
I don't understand. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. I mean, how do you know all of this? Just how much of my life do you actually know about? Jessica is old news. She already quit from the company, and she's long gone. I don't get how you knew about her.
Well, I know about her because she told me all about your affair herself.
That still doesn't make any sense. Why in the world would she say something like that to you? Why would she even know to go to you? I never told her that I was engaged.
You see, the thing is that Bree and Jessica were actually old classmates, and of course, I've known Bree since forever. So basically, Bree was able to tell Jessica about how she wasn't the only woman that you'd lied to and betrayed. But you're right, Jessica actually had no idea that you were engaged before she met me. She just assumed that you'd cheated on her, and that's why you left.
But, so what? What does any of that have to do with what you've done here today at what was supposed to be my wedding?
Well, after Jessica told me her story, Bree and I put our heads together to try and think about how we could put a stop to your horrible behavior.
I see. So then, you knew all along that Bree and I were seeing each other. And you even knew that I was going to end our engagement so that I could be with her? Is that right?
I mean, yeah, that's just about it, really. But then, of course, Bree was always going to have to flee with her parents, and so it was just a matter of revealing your other affairs to everyone. And since all your guests came all this way just to see you, and the bride isn't here, I figured that I'd entertain them another way.
Look, please, whatever you do, please don't tell anyone about my affair with Jessica in the office, okay? My parents had to pull a lot of strings to get me this gig. If this news gets out, then I could really lose my job and be in a lot of trouble. Do you understand?
Ah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. I was wondering when you were going to move from anger to bargaining. And I can see why you'd want to. After all, you have the lawsuits from the affairs to worry about, not to mention the cost of the wedding.
Wait, what do you mean the cost of the wedding? Why would I have to pay for the wedding?
Well, I just told you that Bree and her family are on the lam because they don't have any money anymore, right? In fact, they have more debt than they do assets, so someone is going to have to pay for this $200,000 wedding.
But no, I mean, I've already put tens of thousands of dollars down on this thing.
Well, I don't know what difference that might make, but the point is that at the end of the day, someone is going to get handed the bill. So the best thing you could do for yourself is to at least enjoy the wedding that you're going to be paying for.
But how am I supposed to enjoy an event that you've hijacked just to humiliate me? This isn't fun for me at all.
Well, I'm having a lot of fun. First, you lose the trust of everyone you know and love, and then you lose all your money as well.
I had no idea that you hated me this much. That you were this upset with me.
Of course I'm upset with you, but I really do owe Bree a big thanks for all that she did to help make this happen. Hey there, Bree. I just wanted to check if things had finally settled down for you. Oh, hey, Hilda. Yeah, things have actually settled down a bit. Thank you for asking. We finally made it somewhere safe, and we're renting a really cheap apartment right now. We've managed to work out a deal with the debt collectors, so we're slowly paying them back while we live out here. Oh, I see. Well, that sounds like it must have been a real mess for everyone involved. Oh, yes, it was quite a bit of stress before things finally settled down. But I hear that Sam is also in quite the debt himself, what with the affair and the wedding and all. Actually, I never even bothered to sue him for having an affair on me while we were engaged. To be honest, it just seems too mean to do to someone who had already lost basically everything. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. Although if I were you, I probably wouldn't have stopped myself from kicking him while he was down. Yeah, but ever since the day of the wedding, his whole family has basically wanted nothing to do with him. I hear that his parents even disinherited him. Not only that, but all his friends that showed up to his wedding also said that they wanted nothing more to do with him. It was a pretty show after I said all that I needed to. But I have to say that it was fun watching a man's life fall apart all around him. So I figured he'd already paid me more than his fair share at that point. Well, as long as you feel good about the whole thing, I suppose that's all that really matters in the end. Oh, but actually, there is something that I wanted to tell you. Sam was the one who insisted on having such an expensive wedding. He said from the very start that he wanted to go all out. I think that he was assuming that my family would cover for everything when it was all said and done, but little did Sam know that we didn't have that kind of money. Oh, I see. So that's why he told me that he's already sunk thousands of dollars into the wedding. Yeah, but in the end, did you know that I barely even managed to get any money out of him? I think that he was faking about how rich he was this whole time. Well, he was always a prideful guy, and I suppose if he really was rich, he might have dove headfirst into being with you just because of how much money he thought you had. But anyways, what's going to happen to you after all of this? Are you stuck with your parents until all that debt is paid off? No, actually. I've started to talk to my ex-husband again. It sounds to me like he's really changed for the better, so I think that we're going to try and make it work again. Oh, really? Wow. Well, that's pretty impressive. I don't think that I could do something like that personally. Yeah, well, I guess we all have our ways that we operate, don't we? I guess so. I mean, as long as it's something that you want to do, then that's really all that matters to me, too. And if your man ends up being lousy to you, feel free to call me and we'll get to the bottom of it one way or another. After everything calmed down following the wedding, I started to move my things out of the apartment where Sam and I had lived together while we were dating and engaged. I took all my belongings and moved to a different building while Sam was stuck back home. I heard that he lost his job after all the news about his affair with Jessica had come to light. I've also heard through the grapevine that he can't even find another office job now. Instead, he works as a day laborer, getting whatever work he can where he can find it. It's almost funny that both him and Bree's parents are now stuck in a tiny little apartment doing everything they can to pay back the debt of all their past mistakes and recklessness. I stopped getting updates about Sam after I moved away. It had been months since I heard anything about him at all until one day I found out that Sam had returned to the apartment where we used to live and was banging on the door demanding that I come outside. Of course, I wasn't even there to begin with. The police were called and Sam ended up being dragged away. It sounded to me like the stress of all that had happened to him since the wedding day had finally got to him. But if you ask me, he did all of this to himself and has gotten exactly what he deserves for all his lying and cheating. Bree and I still keep in touch, and she's coming to visit me soon, but things sound like they've been going well for her. She managed to move out of her parents' apartment, explaining to them that it was their debt and that she shouldn't be kept there just to pay it off. Now she lives with her ex-husband, who she remarried, and is working. She still sends money to her parents when she can, though. It sounds like things are still going well for Bree and her husband as well. I was worried at first when she told me that she was going to be remarrying him, but after talking to Bree some more, it really does sound like he's made a lot of changes for the better. Or perhaps her husband just knows better than to mess with someone like her now. I know that what we did might seem a bit duplicitous to some, but I knew that the only way to catch Sam would be to set out bait for him and let him hang himself. Besides, I already knew that he was cheating on me, so it was just a matter of collecting all the evidence that we needed to use against him. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.